Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today we're going to be covering Chapter 287 Predictions of My Hero Academia. Chapter 286 really left on a giant cliffhanger, and I know people are itching to find out what happens. So here I have some predictions for the next chapter and kind of some predictions for what's going to happen in the series overall. So starting off, here's the colored manga panels. This is done by Hexamendel. He's great artwork and everything. So if you like the type of art for the coloration on the manga panels, I'd go check him out. But without further ado, what I think is going to happen in 287. So the chapter ends off on a very, very intense piece with Shigaraki being taken over by All for One. And Shigaraki's face during this chapter, by the way, is essentially blown off, and it is absolutely perplexing how he's still able to stand. But given that he has the entire regeneration quirk, I guess it does make sense to an extent. But with All for One taking over Shigaraki's body, it kind of makes you wonder what is going to happen because, as we know, Shigaraki can't entirely handle his new ability the same way Deku couldn't handle his ability initially. So it kind of begs the question, with All for One taking over his body, will he be strong enough to defeat the rest of the heroes? Mind you, the heroes have exhausted almost all of their resources entirely towards stopping Shigaraki, and things haven't been looking the best. There's a possibility that Bakugo is dead, as we saw in the previous chapter, where Bakugo literally jumped in front of a lethal attack that would have killed Deku, which was very huge of a character arc for him, given all they've been through together. Additionally, whenever Deku was within his own head, he was able to kind of see what Shigaraki was dealing with, and he saw that Shigaraki was being, to an extent, manipulated by All for One. And previously in the story, someone asked Deku, would you save anyone despite the cost? And it makes you kind of wonder, would Deku really go and try to save Shigaraki, the villain, the one who is trying to bring ruin to the hero world? Would he be willing to save him because he sympathizes with the fact that he's being manipulated? But at the same time, Shigaraki is entirely in control of his own will, at least previously. Right now he's a little bit being controlled, obviously. But it makes you wonder, is he a redeemable character? Is he worth saving? Because for many, I believe he's the final villain of the show, if not All for One is. It's either one of those two, obviously. But as a way for Deku to kind of fight back while he sees Shigaraki being taken over, you see Nana Shimura, Shigaraki's grandmother, All Might's teacher. You see her begin to lend Deku a hand. And what I think is going to happen is I think that Nana Shimura will take over Deku's body in this type of weird realm, that they're in this ethereal realm. She's going to take over Deku's body, and along with that, she's going to allow Deku to stand against All for One. And I saw some brief releases from the chapter, and the only thing that I saw that was kind of substantial was All for One looks at Nana Shimura and says, you again. And in case I didn't know, all the previous owners of One for All, minus All Might, have been single-handedly killed by All for One. Every single one of them, 7 out of 9 of the users, have been killed by All for One. And obviously they can't handle All for One by themselves, so it makes you wonder, what can Nana Shimura truly do in this realm? Are all the predecessors going to be lending a hand here? And here's what I think is going to happen. I believe that they'll be able to briefly break this control that All for One has, but I don't know how much of an effect it's going to be because Shigaraki is on an absolute rampage. And we saw in the chapter of 286, we see that Shigaraki says, I finally got you, while touching Deku, and his intent is to steal his quirk. But given that I saw the Heroes Rising movie, I don't believe this quirk can be stolen. When Nine tried to steal Deku's quirk, it wasn't possible. One for All, this godlike power is one that has to be willed to the next user. It cannot be taken forcibly. Otherwise, someone could have simply eaten All Might's hair or taken part of his DNA long ago and taken over his power. But here we are, and the movie isn't canonical. It's not canon, so there's a chance it could be taken, but I don't think it is. I think that like I said, One for All is not going to be able to be taken. What I think is going to happen is Deku's going to definitely inherit some extreme damage. And although I'm not sure if Chapter 287 will cover this, what I am predicting is very, very soon within this arc. I haven't heard many people say this. I think All Might's going to show up pretty soon. The last time we saw All Might, he was sitting and watching TV, and he saw the devastation in Jakku City, and he saw what was going on, and he knows what's going on. The heroes that he loves and fought alongside, and his precious student Deku are all in danger of their lives, and due to a problem that was facilitated because All For One was never defeated initially. And I think All Might takes responsibility for that. I think soon he's going to come within this story, and he's going to have to give his life to save Deku, Bakugo, Todoroki. I'm not sure if Endeavor's going to live, but I think for those three, I think he's gonna give his life to save them. And I don't know if Shigaraki and All For One are going to be beatable anytime soon. It may involve a time skip. It may involve them going to train in America the same way All Might did during his study abroad. So there's a lot of questions on the line of what could be happening in terms of this end. Is there going to be a time skip? Is this going to be the final battle? I don't think it's going to be the final battle. I think Horikoshi still has so much more to write, and he's such a phenomenal author. I think the story is going to go on, but I think there's going to be some tears in this towards the end of this arc, because I feel like we're getting to the climax. Things are really heating up. What I would like to see going forward is I want to see more information in either 287 or some of the chapters that follow about the rest of the users of One For All. I know that I think 2 or 3 chapters ago, it was mentioned that there wasn't a lot known about the 4th user of One For All, and All Might intentionally scribbled off the notes because he didn't know exactly what to say regarding him, or perhaps he did and he was hiding it from Deku. That I am unsure. One of my good friends, you can check his channel, and I'm going to link in the description, Rami, he suggested that the 4th user's quirk is, or what his manifestation of One For All was decay, and that was eventually given to Shigaraki. You can check out his video about that, which is really interesting. But I think that's a really good possibility. But I think it's going to take a lot more than just Deku trying to hold on for dear life and fight against Shigaraki with his own ability. You see that in this chapter, he's blacked out with rage, full of rage, using way more of his ability than he knows how to. And Lord only knows what type of repercussions it's going to have, not only on his mental, but on his body. Because, the doctors had mentioned, Deku, if you keep doing this, your body is going to break. You cannot physically handle this ability that you have right now. He needs to eventually get to that point, especially with all the quirks they have, and the quirk manifestation he's developing is just absolutely insane, but at the same time kind of scary for him. And yeah, guys, so I think to sum it up, I think in chapter 287 there's going to be a lot of fighting in this ethereal realm. I think the vestiges of One For All are going to be fighting versus All For One, and I do believe that Shigaraki will be able to break free of All For One's control, and they will still attempt to get Deku's quirk, but I don't think there's any chance they're gonna get it. At least not from my perspective. Hopefully we'll get some closure on what happened to Bakugo. Is he gonna die? I don't think he is. I think he's really too important to the story to die now. What I think is more likely dying is either Endeavor dying or All Might dying, which I felt All Might's gonna have a death for, gosh, like 2 seasons. I thought the fight versus All For One might have been it, but it was not, at least thankfully. So guys, if you like this video and this kind of just freeballing these predictions, I know normally the videos, I'll go from panel to panel and kind of analyze it, but I was just thinking tonight about all these little things that could happen in the next chapter and what could happen in this arc, and I just felt really compelled to kind of freestyle it, guys. So if you like this type of more informal video, let me know. And as always, guys, if you like the content, please like and subscribe. And if you want to share the video, I'd greatly appreciate it. And until next time, guys, take it easy.